Hello, Beyond Beauty Worldwide. This is Beyond Beauty Talk, and I'm your host, Cyrene Renee. I am so excited to talk to you this evening. Like I said in a little pre-conversation, these Monday nights are so exciting for me because I get to have these very dope conversations with these wonderful people and share their gifts and share their talents and share how they feel in their side. It's just a good thing. If you already know about me. If you want to know about me, you can go to my website at www.cyrenerenee.com. This is not about me tonight. This is about a very, very, very special woman that is within my tribe, within my circle, and I am excited to bring her on. I'm about to add her right now. Second. Give it a little second.
Well,
Hey!
you know, I don't know how to work this, so.
Yes,
Hey.
you do. You working just fine. Just fine.
Lord have mercy.
Ma'am.
See, do y'all see what Cyrene got me doing?
This is good. This is good. I introduced Miss Petra of Emily Cox, my very special blogger, writer, entrepreneur, go-getter, goddess, and everything else. You better work. You better. How are you, Miss Ma'am?
I'm good. I'm recovering from, Texas, and it's, Texas really gaslighted us last week because
it's Phil's fault.
It was
crazy.
Know
how I feel about him.
Girl,
you know how I feel about Phil. I don't like it.
Oh, guess what? It's acting like nothing ever happened. Weather is great.
Weather's wonderful. You know what? Fine. We're just going to take the beautiful weather. Today was really good in New York. It had some rain, but you know what? It was good. We're just preparing for spring. That's it. Because you need the rain for the flowers. Yes. So I got you on.
Yes, yeah.
Got you on. So we're going to learn a little bit more about you for the people. Yep. So tell me where you're originally from, where you are now. You mentioned you're in Texas now. You just got over all that snow, devastation. But where did it start? I want to know, where did your journey start?
My whole journey, my whole thing.
Yes.
So I grew up on the island in Jamaica, as you know. I moved to New York when I was 22 years old, young, fresh and green, trying to get me a job, And I started in finance there, and they had made the offer if I was temping with them, with JP Morgan Chase, by the way, in finance. And they had made the offer to hire me full-time if I moved to Texas. 22, heck yeah. They gave me money.
Yeah.
They were going to move all my stuff.
Go for a check.
Start a new life, and it's been 20 years. I'm still here.
You're still here.
Yeah. So.
Are you still with them?
No, I'm not with them. So got laid off.
Well, you know what? But the thing is, they moved you out there.
Yeah.
For your benefit,
Yes.
But that's dope though, because the only entity that ever offered to move me anywhere was the United States military.
Well.
So there was that's a whole different life.
I know, it's a whole different life.
Yeah, they changed my whole entire. They changed my whole everything, but I haven't had it. I haven't had that civilian, niceties of that. So this is a question that I ask all of my guests.
Okay.
And I am very interested to know this about you because I don't know this answer. And I know a lot about you, but I don't know this answer.
Yeah, we talk every day. What you mean? Okay.
Right, exactly. Who is your beauty icon?
So you didn't warn me. Beauty.
I didn't. No, ma'am. There's no warning. Me and Billy are just, two peas in the pod today. I even rock my curls feet. You see that?
Girl, you see this bun, right? So I'm a simple gal, right? And so the first thing that popped into my mind was my mom. That's the first thing, because I remember her putting her foundation on with her hands. And I was like, Mom, why do you do that? She said, don't you know the best way to put foundation on is with your fingers? And she was all about the skin. And she said, Petra, you need to eat your papaya because papaya is good for your skin. So that, I mean, I can't, there's nobody else. I have to say my mom.
You are
100%.
so adorable. I had no idea who you was going
Yeah.
to say, because that is one question I think I've never asked you, and I
Yeah.
waited until we were live in front of everyone.
March 1st, 2021. Here we are.
Yeah, there we go. I learned a little bit more. That is
Yeah.
so sweet. Hi,
Yeah.
Mom.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if she's
she's
going to watch this, but.
well, she's gonna watch this and be and tear. It's gonna
No,
be a little
no,
tear.
she's not on Instagram, Cyrene.
No, no, no. But this will be on YouTube that you can share
Oh,
links with
Lord.
later.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay. So, Miss Petra, you have a whole entity
I do.
going on with you, like a whole. You're a whole mood, like a whole entire mood all by yourself.
I'm choking
Whether
now.
you want to admit it or not, you can choke a little bit. Just drink some water. I can't pat you in the back, but know that I would if I was there.
Yeah.
So tell us about Emily Cottentop and what inspired you to create it in the first place. Because Emily Cottentop is, if y'all not following Emily Cottentop, I don't know how you're not, but you need to go ahead and do that ASAP. Like when the live is over or whatever. But
So,
do it today.
yeah. ECT is all right, so in '08, I don't know where my voice is going. So in '08, I was struggling with my hair.
Okay.
I was perming a lot, and it was getting thinner, and I did not have a solution for it. And around that time, the blogs were kind of bubbling with this whole natural hair thing. I was reading Curly Nikki, just kind of getting into blogging, and I thought to myself, I could do that. I could blog. I can blog about my hair. I could, write about myself, blah blah blah. And I spent that time kind of studying it. I started in 2012 writing about me and my hair and taking selfies and all that stuff. Now, Cyrene, you know me.
I know.
I am not the selfie person. I don't like, so I got tired of that real fast and I quit. So I kept the domain, and I decided to really study blogging from the business perspective. I worked with what's the name of that? Black Hair Information.
Blackhairinformation.com.
Yeah.
That's
So
when I met you. Because you made an article about me.
Yeah.
That's where you wrote.
Yeah, I sure did. I wrote for them. I edited for them, and I took the time to learn about blogging, and I decided to start again in 2016. I decided to do it.
You're breaking up just a little bit.
Yeah, hold on, let me see.
Just letting you know, you're breaking up just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
Is this better? I'm closer to the phone.
You good?
Okay, cool. Or is it bad?
No, it's just like kind of lagging at some point.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Let me check my Wi-Fi really fast. 1 second.
Okay. We'll just be on hold. She's checking her
Am I back?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
you
here.
are back. I was about to have a whole message, but still thank you.
Okay, so
I do that in real life when people put me on hold in like real life. I'll start having like a whole message. I don't have it. So I was literally about to do that in live. So I'm glad that you saved everyone viewing from my shenanigans.
Cut that out when you do your little. Just cut that out, okay?
I know. I started the music. They did hear that a little bit. So go ahead. Tell me about Emily Cottentop.
In 2016, I started it again, and this time it was about hair, beauty, and culture. And so the blog that you see now is just development from there, talking about natural hair, all hair types, and beauty, culture, celebrity, this and that. So yeah.
You're a whole media entity all by yourself. You and your team are just dope. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Can
I say thank you?
So now this is that part where we go beyond beauty, because this is Beyond Beauty Talk. So we have to do that flip. So you could, you know, get the cute niceties out the way, who you are, where you live, the
Okay.
cutie icon, and, you know, mommy,
Hmm.
all that good stuff. But now we go on a little bit beyond, a little deeper, a little subsurface, because I don't like surface stuff. You know I don't. Makes my butt itch. So, what do you think is lacking in the media, if anything at all, when it pertains to women and various dynamics of culture? Or do they get it right? Is there enough, are there enough variants for all tastes, or at least most tastes, within the whole media spectrum, within television, social media, and all of that? Do you think it's lacking,
I
showing
think
different dynamics of women, or do you think they're doing a good enough job?
I think they're
From
doing
your
the
perspective, that because you're behind your own
yeah,
entity yourself, you see what's going on, so you have a better insight than, you know, that person just going to your website and saying, okay, what's going on in the news, what's going on with this
right.
celebrity, what's going on with the hairstyles. Like, from your perspective of you creating the content yourself as a whole, can it
I'm,
be
I'm gonna
done
I'm gonna
better?
say it like I'm gonna say it like this.
Hmm.
I think social media has given us the opportunity as individuals to publish what it is that we want the world to see. And so when I look at media, I don't look at it from the Cosmo, the and all the big magazines or whatever. Now when I look at media, I look at Cyrene Renee, I look at Petra, I look at, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has a platform, and I think that where the media now is starting to catch up. They're not looking at Halle Berry now as the only celebrity black woman to work to, you know, just to throw one out there to talk
Right.
about, but now it's the Jackie Inas of the world. You know what I mean? Now it's the YouTubers who are out here doing different things with their hair and showing different tricks with their makeup and dancing on TikTok and blah, blah, blah. So I think media has evolved in the sense where now it's everybody has this little phone and that's our television. And so now
Right.
everybody has a chance to, you know, to come out and say what it is that they need to say. Now, so if the media now is kind of being unfair and they're not talking about black women like they should, we
Right.
as black women
We
are
can.
talking about ourselves.
That is
That's
a
what I
true
think
statement.
is happening. And I think it's
I think
great.
social media has, in a sense, somewhat leveled the playing field just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to get even more level. I mean, I am so excited for what the future will hold because Gen Z and like my son's generation, the 8-year-olds, they're a
Hmm.
whole nother level.
Yeah, my daughter's generation, I'm looking at her like,
I
and we
know.
had a conversation literally just today, and she was just like, yeah, mommy, I was doing email at 8 when you set me up with my first Yahoo account. And I was
Like
like,
who
you're
thought?
right.
Right.
Like, you're right. Seriously,
Yeah.
that's the generation she comes from. So she
Yeah.
doesn't know any other,
Any other
you know,
way.
entity. Yeah. And so if we're not being represented on commercials and ads and things like that, now you have Instagram.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you're a whole, now you have Instagram influencers,
Yeah.
Instagram models.
And now
They
the
have to be,
commercials have to catch up.
have to reflect that.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
do.
because you see them, you know, piecing together little
Hmm.
TikToks and little things and trying, it's literally, you're right, they're trying to play
Yeah.
government. And it's kind of cool to see
Yeah, it really
how that full circle, how it was in their hands for
yeah.
a good century.
Yeah.
And then technology flipped and evolved.
Yeah. And
And
now it's in the 12-year-old's
now
hands.
I can talk to you just like this, you
Right.
know? Right.
Right.
And
Who would have thought?
communicate. You're in Dallas, I'm in New York, and we can talk
Right.
about our brand, talk about media, talk about things that actually matter to
Yeah.
our community. And
Yeah.
that's a beautiful, that's the positive of social media. Of course, there's always a negative to everything, but that's the positive.
That's a
It
positive.
connects.
Yeah.
It connects definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're definitely spot on when it comes to that. Good job.
Thank
That was
you.
good. That was
Thank you,
very deep. Yeah, we going beyond this beauty talk now.
girl.
Okay, so you have a large social media footprint and influence, be it Instagram and Facebook. You know I'm not on TikTok, so I can't even tell you what you do there because it's just a lot for me, people. I'm not on it. I'm just I
Serene,
can't do it.
you
I'm not
have
doing
to.
it. So,
Oh Lord.
ma'am, we had this
Okay.
conversation how many times a week? We can't argue live, can we?
No,
I
we
mean,
can't. We can.
we
I can
can.
convince you. Can
You would have to take my phone and download the whole thing.
yeah.
Get Alyssa to do it. Something. You just have to because you just have to. I'm not
I'm
doing
coming to New York.
it.
That's
But
all I
you have a large footprint and influence on social media, and most of your following are made of minority women. Do you ever feel pressured by other media sources to call diversity or diversify your content and expand your base, or are you always going to be like, you know what, this is what I started, this is what I'm going to keep? Because we do see a lot of big brands, not necessarily in media, but in hair care, skin care, and they start off one way, and then we see like 6 commercials, and we're just like, wait a minute now, that's not how you started. I'm not going to call them out because they're not sponsoring this. So
hmm
you know who I'm talking about. The
Right.
brands that
Yeah.
pop in your head is who I'm talking about.
Yes.
They start off one way, and then they say things like, well, we want to diversify our audience and our brands and reach an entirely new market. Do you ever feel pressured to not necessarily flip, but to gear in that direction to even expand the 300,000 plus that you already have following you?
You know what's funny?
Yes.
Like I had that conversation today.
See,
And
look at me,
yes,
psychic.
I feel pressure. Here's why, right? Here's
Okay.
why. I am definitely true to my base. Like, because I'm a black woman, I not that I can't see other cultures or write about them, so to speak, but when you diversify, right? Let me just be real. When you diversify, the money goes up.
Yeah.
It does. And that's why you see diversification, right? That's
Yeah.
why you see um, dilution, for want of a better word. And so,
Mm, you better preach. That was a
and
good word.
so, and so the struggle I have, with Emily Cottentop is, I've gone really niche before,
Yeah.
and I have not seen the traction that I think it should have. I have gone broad, and I have seen some traction, because what people do, right, is much different from what they say they do.
Oh, I know.
And so if I use the example of and 4C hair versus 3C hair, this is problematic. So you know what I mean. And so you'll have
My
I'll
bad.
get
My bad,
accused.
y'all. This is not 4C. I'm sorry.
I'll
I'm
get
not. It's nothing
accused
I can do
of
about it. It's just how it grows. This is a wash and go, scoop up, slick, and that's it.
and
There's
that's
no
it.
gel. There's no
No,
there's no cream. This is some leave-in conditioner and some oil. This is it. This is what I look like after the
well,
shower.
I get all the time that you need to feature more 4C curls, which I do all the
Yeah.
time. But when I look at the stats, I look at the back end, I'm like, where are my girls that ask me for this because they're not clicking?
Mm.
If I compare, like, I'm a very data driven person. So if I compare the data with what is potentially liked or what is preferred, it's much different from what people say they like and what they say they prefer. Absolutely.
Breaking up just a little bit. Again, just a little bit. It's like a lag.
So
You
can you hear me
there?
now? Are we good?
You're breaking up just a little bit.
I don't know
Speak
if
a
I
little
need to
bit.
move this phone. Do I need to hold it? How's this?
If that's better.
That's better. Okay, good. So yeah, the main point I'm making is what people say they want and what they're actually doing data wise is much different. And so if I was to make the decision to diversify, it would be based on the data alone. But I am really, really true to my base. Like, I love my girls. That's what I know.
I actually see that topic come up quite often on just like natural hair groups and stuff. I'm part of a few of them now. I used to be part of a whole bunch, but now I'm just part of a small few. And I see that all the time. Why don't you post more 4C hair? Or why don't you post? It's always 3C, it's 3B. It's And for me, it's just like, is it natural?
Right.
Is it cute? Like, is
Yeah.
the hairstyle cute? Is it healthy?
Yeah. Where are we at?
I just want to know if you're washing your braids when you put them in. That's it. Like, can we talk about real stuff? Because, like,
Yeah.
and then I have these conversations with you because, I'll be like, well, P should know this answer because this is what she does. And I say, hey, the girls are saying they want to see more 4C. And you
Mm-mm.
go, no, they don't. And I said, oh, that's real controversial. Because there was like 100 comments in a 200 group chat that they all said they want to see it, but the data, if the data is not backing up that if the actions are not backing up what you're saying, then really,
There's a lot of work that needs to happen, a lot of mental work,
yeah,
and it can be overwhelming for me. You know,
yeah,
you
I can
know,
only, I can,
it's
I can't even fathom
it's a lot of work, and so
breaking up a
we're
little
working
bit.
through it.
You
You
work,
know,
yeah. I was just wondering that because I see that quite often, and it's like, oh, this brand is showing more these curls and things like that. But if you're not clicking on it, on the information, if you're not going to the website when you see that photo and then reading the article and then getting those products that support that particular hair type, how are the content creators supposed to support what you say you want when you're not actually backing up those actions?
yeah, right.
That's a rock and a hard place. I'm really glad I'm not in that. I got enough
It's full
rocks and hard
circle.
places. Right, I got enough
It's full
rocks and
circle.
hard places. I ain't adding that one to
No,
that.
it's full
So
circle.
you promote positive wellness and wholeness often, and I love your page for that because I'm all about that, as you can see. What are some of your go-to activities for your own self-care routine? I'm trying to be nosy. I know a couple of them, but I want to know more.
Uh, so nosy.
I am.
um,
That's what I'm here for.
I would music, 100%. Reggae music all day. Um,
Yes.
I,
You see my record player in the back. I don't play.
I
I don't play
see.
games.
I
I don't
see.
play games.
I see. Self-care in terms of like skin fate, is that what you mean?
Anything you do, anything that you use, what is your routine? Like, if you get up and you're having not a stressful day, but it's just not what you expected,
All right,
and it's
I'm
the
gonna tell
end
you.
of the day, and you're just like, yo, you know what? I need a moment. I need a pee moment.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna tell you basic P, and then
Elevated pee.
elevated P. Basic P, skincare wise, is St. Ives. I'm sorry, I'm not ashamed. St. Ives scrub, a
There's
little
no shame.
Neutrogena with some SPF, and that's it. I'm not a makeup person. See, I'm not a makeup person.
We've had
Do I
discussions.
like watching makeup tutorials? Yes, love them, love it, but I can't do it. And when I'm turned up, I might do a mask. I might put a little
Oh,
sheet mask on. Relax a little bit, try to flex. And then take that off, and I'm done. That's it. That's elevated P.
that's elevated pee.
That's
The
elevated.
mask is elevated.
Yes. That's
I'm
all
a,
I got. See, that's all I
I'm gonna
got.
have to send you something.
That's all
I
I
don't know
got.
what, but you know what? I'm gonna make something and send it to you to go
I got
elevate it.
I
I'm
got
gonna elevate the
endless.
elevate.
I
Oh,
like yeah.
you're burning the
I,
candle.
I got to set the mood. So
That's my candle, y'all. If y'all were saying my candle. That's my candle. Yeah, TMQ. That's that's another conversation, but that is my candle. Um, and it does smell very sweet. So yes, it does set the
it
mood, and
sets the mood.
it sets the mood. Must say, I did pretty well myself. So you highlight, promote, and uplift natural hair. I even wore my little natural curls for you, my little right
Yeah.
out the wash and go, leave-in conditioner, keep it moving. This is like summer hair for me. I don't do this in the winter because it's too cold around these parts. But this is basically what I look like in the summer if I don't have my braids.
Right.
Right. But as a naturalista yourself, how do you feel about the evolution of not only Black women returning to natural, but society as a whole acceptance? Do you think society is accepting now, or they're trying to catch up? Are they catching up? Is it something that they're just working through? You know, from that outside looking in, it's kind of like for me, I'm like, all right, they're okay, but they still ask me, can I touch it? You know, it's just like little stuff,
Yeah.
like the checks and balances. Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about the evolution of it?
I
Not only just from their perspective, but as a natural Lisa yourself.
I
I
I
know
am
how I feel.
I am so
I don't
in
know.
love with the carefreeness of us. You know, I started in '08, so that's kind of when I noticed. But there's a level on the positive side. There's just a level of in touchness, if that's a word, that Black women have with their hair, and I'm in love. I love it. I love seeing it. I love when a girl can go out, fro, none of this stuff right here where you do your edges, just like
I
regular.
can't. If you see, it's just regular. I can't do no baby hairs. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really
No baby
grown, and
hairs.
I'm too grown for the baby hairs. I just can't.
I
No shade to
absolutely,
anybody who likes it, but it's just not for me. It's
I
not my
love it.
ministry.
Yes. But then on the other side, I do understand the challenges that women have of really, really accepting, um, what your hair naturally does. You know, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have Gorilla Glue Girl if there was a sorry. You wouldn't have it if there was
No
full on
apologies.
acceptance.
We deep now. We done beyond now.
Bless her heart. But I
Bless the
understand
heart.
the concept of what, the slicking, and to make sure that nothing, like, look, like I cannot control I don't care. This is
Look,
what's gonna
this is
do.
it.
Look,
This is it's it. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get some
I can
frizz. You're
I
gonna get
can
some curl
try,
hair.
but it's gonna do this. It's gonna do that. So
Just pat it down. That's good, girl.
pat
Yeah,
it down.
when I returned to natural, I always say return to natural, like going natural. Like no, I returned to natural in 2010.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
from and you know this story because you wrote on it, and this was
Yeah.
very sensitive. And
Yeah.
you actually took me. I think it took me 2 years to get that story out of me. And it did. It took me like 2 years, but my doctor basically told me that it was time to quit with the relaxers and stuff and the harmful chemicals and relaxers getting into the bloodstream and spreading disease and harmful chemicals. And I had not thought about it in that way. It no longer was just a vanity thing or a look or a fad or a
It's
trend.
health. Right.
It was my health. And I had no idea other than the most I had to deal with natural hair was my daughter, who was about 4 or 5 at the time. So I'm
Hmm.
looking at her hair and I'm going, I'm really hoping mine is close to hers because I'm not sure what to do. I hadn't seen my natural hair since I was, what, 9?
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is, this is like 20, 21, 22 years later. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, you don't know any other way.
Yeah. Right.
So I was one of those women who had to flock to YouTube because there wasn't any other place for me to go to.
No.
And I had to learn what was good for me. And I transitioned for about a year because I was like, I didn't want to just, plus I was in the military at the time, and I had to make sure that I was within my regulations for the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole different animal. I'm like, oh my goodness, what if I can't get my hair in a bun? What am I going to do
Right.
with my hair?
Yeah.
I can't get my beret because I was a security forces. We wore berets. We didn't wear the ball cap or the flight cap. Like, I can't get my beret on the afro. What am I going to do? This is this is hard. Like, I had to retrain my thoughts
Your
and
mind.
really learn. So I researched, and then I found the hair chart, and I'm like, well, this up here is like 3C, but this back here, that's like 4A,
Mm-hmm.
B. I got like three different curls. My
Yeah.
ancestors was mixing. Like, this is a lot. This is a lot in one head. Like, are any other? And then I'm like, are any other girls like mixed hair in the hair itself? And then I was like, okay, everybody has a little mixture, and I'm like, okay, I felt a little more comfortable. But I was part of that. Let me go to YouTube and get some insight, because there wasn't anything mainstream to go to. And that was
Right.
how I found blackhairinformation.com, because I was looking for help. I was like, I need some assistance with
Yes.
this. And then it wasn't like I would read in blogs, and I was reading up on all different types of oils, what the oils did, which oils did what oils to stay away from, what was good for the body, because it wasn't just a hair thing for me. I
It
had
was
to change
health.
my
Right.
entire thing. So lotions, I had to, it was like, oh yeah, that smells real good. What's in it?
Right. Yeah.
Perfume, that smells real good. Probably
What's
not good
it?
for me.
Right.
What's in it? So if that shampoo, that's wonderful. What's in it? The parabens and the sulfates. So then you find out that it's all this extra unhealthy things in your deodorants, in your lotions, in your perfumes, in your hair care, in your oil. It was just like, what am
It's
I
too much.
supposed to do? I was very overwhelmed that I started this really small community, and it's still very small because I never wanted it to get big. And naturally, we on Facebook, and it was literally just a
Right.
place
On
for me to
Facebook.
go because I was confused and lost, and I felt alone
Right.
because like I'm dealing with all this health stuff, and now I have, like, my doctor was like, no, it's not just, because she literally looked at me and said, we need to talk about your hair. And I said,
My hair.
what? In my mind, I'm like, white lady, what can you tell me about my hair? You don't know anything about it. She said, listen, I've been doing research for you. And when she came at me like that, I said, okay, wait, I think she actually cares
Yeah.
about me. Let's get this conversation going. And she said, you use relaxers, right? And I said, well, yeah. She said, how long? I'm like, I don't know, 9-ish. And she said, when was your last one? And I said, a month ago. And she said, well, that's your last one.
Wow. You weren't even.
This was my face. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? And then she broke it down, and she showed me the research that she did and handed me all this printed paper and stuff. And I'm like, they're killing us.
Yeah.
And then I got mad. And then I got upset. And then I wanted to cuss every relaxer brand that ever known a
And
man. And
brand
my
out.
go-to was Dark and Lovely. Like, that was my go-to. Like, I had it just stacked in my home, just ready for my touch-up, because I was
Throw it
doing it
out.
myself. I was always, I was always doing, like, I was doing my own hair. Like, I would go to, beauty parlor or whatever every 2 weeks or whatever when I lived in New York. But I could always do my own at the same time. Especially when I joined the military, there was no one to do my hair.
To do your
So
hair.
I had to do it myself. So my touch-ups, my trims, and all of that good stuff. And I said, I have to unlearn everything that I have been doing for myself and find something completely different. So I completely understand that when I went to Curl Fest right before, COVID broke out, and it was such a beautiful sight to see all
Right.
these girly
Girls.
naturalists just running around and just
Free.
afros and curls and just like, oh, you just cute. And
Sundresses. Yeah.
the sundresses.
Yeah.
I wore braids in that one. My braids were long too. That was when I did put the
Is that when
65
you
inches
did
in it.
the distance?
The
Is that
65
when you did
inches.
that? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, oh, I'm coming with length, people. And I
Yes.
just said, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that I remember when I finally got in the bathroom and I wet my hair and whatever was straight got chopped off. I did my chop myself in the bathroom and I looked at it and my daughter came home and she walked in the bathroom and said,
What are
oh
you
wow,
doing?
mommy, your hair is curly like mine.
Oh,
And I was like, and then she said, it's gonna grow back, right? And I was like,
of
she
course.
was like 4, and I said, yeah, baby, it is. And she said, wow, you have curly
Aw.
hair just like me. Because up until then, she would always say like, I want my hair straight, I want my hair straight, I want my hair straight, I want
Yeah.
my hair straight.
See?
And then when I cut it, she was like, it's like mine. And
Yeah.
it was a shift.
Yeah.
Not only a shift in her, it was a shift in me.
Right.
Because the little ones, they see what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So I think it's a beautiful transition that you see more women. And what I do love is that the options. If you want to be natural, be natural. This is how I feel. If you want to rock your weave, rock your weave. If you want to if you want to get a relaxer, that's on you. You
Yeah.
don't have to have the same health conditions that I do. That's how you don't have to. Like when I grew up, you had to get your relaxer. You
Yeah.
had to get your fur. You had to get them. You got new growth.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And I get
No,
rid of that.
you overdue. But
Yeah.
now you have those options, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You can get within the communities, and then it could get a little negative and stuff, which is why my pool of huge, that's a whole different line.
Right.
And then, just bring it down. But it's just like, overall, you don't have to if you don't want to. As
Nope.
long as your hair is healthy, I don't really care what you do.
Nope. Listen, I we permed for years. Like who am I to say that I
Who
will
are me to
will
judge? Who
never
are
hear?
me to judge?
I did it since I was 13. Some people are since 9.
Yeah, it's like I just remember my 6th grade graduation, and I went to the beauty parlor, and I got my a fresh touch up. It sat under the dryer and stuff, and I looked and I was like mesmerized when I
See?
looked in that mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. That was what life needed to be. It was like a rite of passage.
You didn't know anything else.
Nah, and it was, but to see it embraced now,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm really happy about it. I really am because
it's
now
definitely,
options are open.
yeah, options are open. And I had to be a little bit more creative because I was a bun girl. I wasn't a bun girl just in the military. I was a bun girl at 12. Like I was rocking this thing. Whether
Yeah.
the bun was here, the bun was there, the bun was on the side. Sometimes I would be cute, put the bun on the side and I could put the bun there. I
Yeah.
was cute. Don't look at those pictures, but I had it there. But and then I joined the military. I had to wear a bun because that was the only style that was basically
Mm-hmm.
acceptable. But when I cut it, what ponytail was I getting that thing in? Mm.
Good thing
So then
back.
I started doing like little, like I went completely vintage and retro and I had rolls here and I'd have a
Yeah.
pinned roll there.
Yeah.
And then
I remember.
people were looking at me like, Cyrene, something different about you? They didn't know I had like chopped the rest of my hair off because they could never
Right.
see my hair anyway. And then one day I had left, I wasn't in the military anymore and I was just working civilian government. And I wore my natural hair. I did it one time. That's it. Can I touch it? Oh no, no ma'am. This is
Funny.
going in a bun tomorrow. It was but I understood the mystery of it because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand it either. So again, who is me to judge? Just ask. If you want to touch it, ask. And it's okay if we say no. We're not a petting zoo. Just
Wow.
throwing that out there. Throwing that out there. So in 2016, you published an ebook.
I did.
You did. Hair care
Hmm.
for kids with kinky curly hair, a complete
Yeah,
guide for 4C curls. What inspired you to write the book? And specifically, what inspired you to focus on children?
because I was in my inbox were a lot of moms asking me about how to maintain their kids' hair. And I mean, when your audience asks you something, you have to deliver. So I created a book, a guide that would kind of, so it's really not for kids in the sense that it's a kid's storybook. It's more for
Right.
parents,
No, it's for
understanding
parents
from,
to, it's a hair
right,
guide for parents.
parent hair guide. So, from the moment the child is born with the cradle cap, what that means. I remember when my son had cradle cap, I was like, what is this? you know? I was like, what in the world is this kid's head peeling? Like what? So we did that, and styles for little 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and I actually added more to it in years after. But it really came because people were asking. They wanted to know, like, how really can they get their child's hair healthy from the time of birth until 11, 12, that age group there.
That's really a good question because we were returning to natural
Yeah.
and they were just going to be natural. We didn't know that
Yes.
process. And that's a process that I had to learn with my own daughter. So I can
With you.
understand a parent like, okay, so she's never going to get a perm unless she
Right.
wants to? How does that work?
And not only that, a little, like, babies, they'll lose so they'll have what the hair they come out with, and
Yeah,
that it'll just fall off, and that will freak parents out. Be like, what
yeah,
in the world? Why are the patches there? It's not growing. And so in the book we address that. Leave it alone. There's a
yeah.
lot
It
going
could be.
on in the little
It's a
people.
lot going on. I mean,
There's
they
a
they
lot.
knew. I
Tell
call
them.
them new. They're just new. They're just figuring out this life thing. They're
Yeah.
new. They've been in food all
Yeah.
this time. They're new. You started from nothing. Just let them figure it out.
Not
My
going.
daughter's hair when she
Yeah.
was born, she had this straight slick. It was so slick. And she came out with it styled. It like slicked hair, curled hair. And it was like, where did you come from? And then this was all slick and curled, and then the back started to like have these little curls and ringlets. So people thought I was actually putting curlers in her hair and styling it that way. And I'm just like, no, this child is just developing into this until finally it was just curly, and then
Yeah.
it just kept growing. But when I gave birth, I said, "How did you, how did you come out styled? You did that in the womb?"
I
Like
would
I
say
gotta
my
make my grand,
place
I gotta make my grand entrance. Let me get myself
that
together.
right.
I was so confused. So this is around the time where we have our spotlight, and normally we have a product. However, you offer a service
I
because
do.
you're a whole, like I said, you're a whole entity by yourself.
I do.
I'm gonna stop saying that. Never.
Thank
So
you.
tell me about the Emily Cotton Top services that you offer. Floor is all yours. Go ahead, take it.
So, we do uh, advertisements for, did I say that right? Yeah, advertisements for small businesses. So we allow a small business to come in, and we would curate a blog post in collaboration with them about their service or their product. And we would promote that post for 7 days across all social media. So Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Instagram stories. We would help them with video if they needed video. We would do cute little pictures if they didn't have that. And they get 7 days basically to utilize my audience and expertise and my team's expertise to promote their product or service. And I am very, very, very in tune with small business specifically, not necessarily what a typical influencer would do, who would probably get a brand deal and you take a picture and then that's it. I do believe that for you to make a real impact with a small business, you have to do a little bit more. And so, they get, again, do a phone call, full-on consultation with them. A lot of them are still like friends of mine, you know, and we will plan out our 7-day adventure that we're going to have with ECT, and we would roll everything out for 7 days, and at the end we would look at the data and we say, okay, on this day this is what happened. They liked this video more than that video. There was more clicks here than here. You really need to focus on your video content with your, you know, so it's a full-on consultative service.
So
Yeah,
it's a full-on experience.
it is, absolutely, because that's the only way. Like, I feel like I am not the person to pose with the product and be like, here we go, you know. No, not me. You need to see traction. You just do. And so, you know, we call it our small business spotlight. And so we'll have that.
I love that you're a numbers girl. That always,
Yeah,
I love that you're a numbers girl.
yeah,
You're
absolutely.
like, what does the numbers say? I need to see.
Yeah, I need to know. You know, what do you want out of this? And we need to have a
Right.
goal. We need to get there. I mean, you don't win every time. I don't promise sales, because sales is something that is it's, you know, it's determined based on how much a person sees. Like, somebody just doesn't see a product and buy it like that off the bat, right? A person has to kind of
I do
interact.
that.
Well, there are impulse buys. Yes, there are. But you can't, like, if I was a business owner, I wouldn't plan for impulse buys. Like, those
No,
those are like your sprinkles on your ice cream, right?
I'm sprinkled.
Yes,
Call me
your
sprinkled.
sprinkles, your strawberry sprinkles. And so you want to plan for touches, you know, and interaction and experience. So if you're selling a body scrub, know that the person needs to see the picture. They need to see the texture. They need to see that you're using it. They want an email from you. They want a video from you. They might want to see an ad. Somebody does not make an attempt to buy until about 7 interactions with your product. And so I feel like if you're taking money from a small business to do a promotion, it needs to be a
Right.
little bit more than, hey, look what I got.
Right. And that's the difference between you and your services and an influencer.
Yeah.
They may do like a really dope video or take a cute ad picture, only use it that one time, maybe repost it in a story a couple times. But when you are talking about your services, this is across the board
It
for an
is.
entire 7-day period, and it's more than just a photo.
Yeah.
And your audience is large, so you
Yeah.
can get a grasp of, hey, you know what, going further, you might want to add more videos to the,
Right.
you know, to the to your those
To your
clicks.
thing. Yeah.
When you just posted the single picture, we really didn't get that much feedback. So it's
Right.
actually really dope that you go into so much care and concern about their businesses
Yeah.
when they are working with you. And that's really sweet, because sometimes people can get very much lost in everything that's going on right now. And
Yeah.
to see a service being offered that actually has love, really. Because a lot of times, and I didn't make this quote up, but I use it, people want to know how much you care
Yeah.
before they care about what you know. So when I see a service like that, it's just like, okay, she cares about your business.
Yeah.
Now you need to follow up and do the work. Because none of
Yes.
this is easy, but it all
Right.
should really be worth it, especially if it's your business. You have to
Right.
invest in yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really dope service.
Well, thank you.
Well, you already know how I feel about it,
Thank
because we don't every day.
you.
So, ma'am, Miss
Yes.
Ma'am, what's next? What's next for you? What's next for Emily Cox? I want to know. I'm nosy. I'm
So
nosy today.
remember how we talked about that diversification piece?
Yes.
So I might try it just to see how that goes.
Hmm.
I am heavily focused on where the money resides this year. So I don't, my time is very, very focused on figuring out how to increase revenue as much as I can, and how to make connections, deeper connections with the business world, with small business, and with my audience. How to tap into their emotions, what it is they like, what do they like, what do they want to talk about. So I just did a JetBlue post just now, and I never talk about JetBlue ever. Like,
I
I don't
saw
talk
that.
about it, period.
I saw
So,
that.
right. So I'm just giving you an example of, I'm gonna put that and see what happens. Now, I am truly interested in their opinions, but I want to see from a data perspective what happens,
Those
how they,
numbers.
you know what I mean? And so there's a lot of testing that's going on, and I'm planning to just be where the money resides. I'm playing.
No, you're not. You say that all the time. Say it all the time. You said it. You've been saying it since it came out.
So yeah, I
You even
want.
said it about me a few times.
I want to make deeper.
She's serious, y'all. Just like you know,
Yeah,
she's
I
not
am.
playing.
I am very serious. I want to make deeper connections. I really want to dive a little bit deeper see how I can help small business as much as I can.
That's dope. I'm here for it. So how can
Yeah.
we reach you? How can we follow you? How can we do all of those things? I'm sure everybody already is doing it now because my goodness. But if you so happen to be on this earth and on social media and don't know who this woman is,
Don't say
how
that.
do how I mean, really, really, Peter,
I'm not,
really, where? You can be humble all you want to, but I'm gonna just say where. So go ahead and say it.
okay.
They already know it, but say it.
I am at Emily Cotton Top everywhere on TikTok, on Instagram stories, Pinterest, all of the things, right? I think all of the things. The only place I don't really pay a lot of, like, Twitter. Twitter's a little for me. So yeah, I'm at Emily Cotton Top everywhere,
And if
and
they're
my
a small
website.
business, how do they get in touch with you for a small business and all of those wonderfulness of services that you offer?
So on my Instagram, there is an email called inquiries@emilycottentop.com. You can email me there, or editor@emilycottentop.com, and I'll get it. It's that easy. It's right there on the in the little bio.
It's easy, y'all. Just go to
Easy.
the bio. Just click the bio. Just,
And I'll send you an email, and we'll have a phone call, because I'm not about that email back and forth thing. We're gonna talk.
she wants to hear your voices.
I want to hear the voices. So
She
while
wants to hear.
I'm a shy girl, I will pick up the phone. We will have a
Well,
conversation.
well, yeah, but you're about your business,
Yeah,
and that's all that matters.
yeah, yes.
I'm really glad that you finally agreed. I'm
Girl,
throwing in that word finally. See, this
how long
wasn't so bad.
how long did you give me? You gave me, what'd you say? What, 2 months?
I warned you,
Yeah, you
and
did
I said,
warn me.
this is coming up. I need you to get your mind right. And you said, huh? And then I said, listen, do you want to do this in February? You said, mm-mm. I said, well, then you got 1 March to get your life right, and I need a selfie.
Why? I thought it was March 27th. I was like, March
I
1st?
don't
What
know.
is she?
I don't know where you got. Listen, you put that whole 27th in. I said March. I never
I
said
may have been,
March what. I gave you March 1st.
this girl said the
Fine,
first day.
you don't.
All right.
Fine, you don't want to do it in February. I'm gonna give you March 1st. How about that? But it wasn't so bad.
No, it was great. Just a
See,
conversation. That's
I
what you said.
told you it was just a
Just a
conversation,
conversation. Okay.
and I didn't ask anything too crazy. The most craziest thing I asked you was, "Who was your beauty idol?" And you came up with your mother. That was the
All right.
sweetest answer I've gotten so
That's
far.
very good.
Mine is Dorothy Dandridge, but it's mommy.
Very good. I like that one.
So see, so I just want to say thank you for accepting. the invitation to be on Beyond Beauty Worldwide,
You
Beyond Beauty Talk with me on this here Monday, on a motivational
fun.
Monday. I'm
Yeah.
sure that this conversation will bring about a lot of conversation and services that you really do care about small business. We talk about
Oh yeah.
that all the time, which is
Oh.
just like, yo, you're in my tribe. Like we have to have these conversations.
Yep.
It's a must. And I love that we challenge each other and we push each
Yeah.
other and we hold each other accountable in a very loving and thoughtful way. So thank you, P, for being in my tribe and being my friend.
Very
And
welcome.
thank you for being on this show.
You. This is wonderful. Thank you.
I am so excited
Thank
to
you.
look back at this and be like, she did that.
Oh, girl. Give me some time before I look back.
No, about Wednesday. It'll be on the YouTube. Yep,
I know,
on
of
the YouTube.
course. Hmm.
But I will say this, if you would like to be a guest on this here platform with me and you feel that this is a good fit for you, you can go ahead and DM me at CyreneRenee.com. Well, no, that's my website. You can just DM me at Cyrene Renee. Or you can send me an email at crbeyondbeautyww@gmail.com. I will have a little conversation with you and see, how we can work something out. Also, for small business too, I love to support. See, this is why she's in my tribe. We support small businesses. If you're a small business, have a product and a service or anything like that, you can also send me a DM, send me an email. You could be the product spotlight for the week, the service spotlight for the week. If there is a way that I can help, I will help. I will do. Because as a small business owner myself, listen, I get it. Trust me.
Hmm.
And that's really it for episode 5. I feel really good.
Wow. 5. Good job. Good job.
5, girl.
5. Wow.
5. And I will see you next Monday evening. As always, hopefully there's no snow, but it is what it is. It happens, right? Still.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Catch you in the DMs, girl.
Yeah. Right. See you in my DM.
Bye.
Bye.